just look at this few seconds clip. What does it remind you of? What does it remind you of? It reminds me of Peter Obi. Remember, this channel will set it for Peter Obi because we believe that he was the only platform that will get us to good governance. But the way things are turning out, we are beginning to see this another young Peter Obi. He is no other person than the very dark man. With that, I say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is INI TV. Let me put the car off. This is INI TV. We are global and social commentators. What do we learn from very dark man's arrest? We want to talk about the aftermath of the arrest. What happened? First of all, I will just quickly tell you how the arrest took place. Well, somewhere along the line, the younger sister called in and said, brother, the GT Bank has been collecting money from mommy's account since the beginning of this year. And it's getting too much now. So mommy is seriously sad about the whole thing. And when she went to ask, they said she collected a loan, which she did not collect a loan. So what is happening? That's the question she's asking. So VDM got the message. I was surprised that the mother, she's a teacher. She teach little kids, maybe in primary or in junior secondary. And she's so attached to these kids that she will not, even though they are financially okay now, don't let anybody deceive you. Very dark man is financially okay. Not the money from the NGO, how much he gets from his Facebook, TikTok, and whatever. There's no way that guy will not get nothing less than $3,000 a month. And $3,000 a month is close to maybe 2.5, 2.7 or thereabouts. That is if the exchange rate is very bad. Because dollar is almost $1,000 is almost 2 million. I'm saying if it is bad. So somebody that earns close to 3 million naira a month, a young man that is not married. I'm talking about maybe one of his accounts alone. Maybe the Facebook, TikTok pays more. So I believe that the mother would have cried earlier if he wasn't getting anything from very dark man. So because he was getting everything, maybe he thought a month or two it will be gone. But as it keeps every month, keep going. So VDM went with the mom to the bank. We saw a picture and a video that he did in the bank. Then later, we heard that he has been arrested by DSS. It was even the next day that we learned that it was EFCC. And that the crime was cyber stalking. This is what we learned from the offering. First of all, the arrest is not an arrest. The arrest is a kidnap. And many people are angry. Why would the DSS or EFCC kidnap very dark man? And that was wrong. I just laugh. What did your federal government do to Maxi under the canon? Is it not kidnapped? So this is not new. Nigeria is a lawless society from the top to bottom. The government is lawless. The presidency is lawless. The House of Assembly, the same thing. The National Assembly, the same thing. The judiciary is the same thing. A judiciary that could jettison 25% in Abuja just straight away like that without shaking. So what we learn from the whole thing is that the ESCC or DSS, whatever it may be, is the same thing, the manner, the way the government is. Now, party government, Yahoo government, Iki government, Wayo government. Might is right. When you say there's no law in Nigeria or there's no right in Nigeria, what you have is might is right. If you see two people to argue now, if that who is financially more buoyant than the other will win, or who no person pass will win, or who in rank high pass for military will win. There's never a case where a poor man could get justice. It's not. I'm not saying. If it happened, it's because of the PTR. PTR say rest. You rich man just paying off. and waiting to pay her, it's not going to reach anything. So that is one thing that we'll learn. That we don't expect the DSS or the EFCC to act different from the government. That is one. Then two, we also learned something about the mom. This is a woman that we will call upright. A woman that is not, she's not a bourgeoisie. She's not rich. She's a working class mother, and she's contented with what she has. She's not the trouble in picking saying, I told her I'll give me this, I told her I must give me this. I have seen, what's his name? A very dark man, drove about 3-4 cars. But because of this incident, his elder brother came out. The compound was shown, and those cars were there. So that's their cars. It's not as if the very dark man gets the 3 cars. Maybe the elder brother get one, which is more or less like the SUV. Then the other Toyota that almost take the shape like Hummer Jeep. Then there's another car too. That's like a Pajero or something like that. Those are the 3 cars they have. And you discover that he has a elder brother, he has a younger brother. Coupled with their mom. Maybe their mom still gets one of the cars which they use, So you discover that this is a noble family that found themselves in a country like Nigeria. And the mother have accepted her fate. But very dark man is doing everything possible to make sure say Nigeria change. That is what we still learn. And we also learn that when it comes to young family affair, very dark man was very polite. Very polite. He didn't give the bank 24 hours. No. He went there, sit down, and that was why most people were paying. That's a very dark man, very humble guy. We've not seen him as humble, as respectful as he did inside the bank. So people were applauding him. So that was what people were annoyed when at the end of the day, he heard that he was arrested. People got angry. And another thing that shows us that very dark man does not only have fans on social media, he also has fans on ground. He's a force to reckon with. And his force, his tentacles go beyond just Nigeria alone. I want to believe that a lot of people knows him in West Africa and even the world at large. See a lot of people appealing to the federal government to release him. Voices were heard from China, voices heard from America, voices heard from Australia, voices from Europe, begging or asking the federal government to release him. And apart from that, he was there for about 4 or 5 days. No allegation was brought against him. That is another way to know that Nigeria is finished as a country. It does not have law. It does not even intend to keep the law. It does not intend to keep the law. 4 days, no charges were brought against him. The FCC said they have called him on several occasions and he didn't come. What happened to Yaya Bello? Did the FCC go and attack him and kidnap him? Didn't they appeal to him to come? Why did you treat very dark man differently? Again, we said Nigeria might is right. Might is right. This is the FCC that will come to your house at midnight like thief. Open your roof and jump into your house. We've seen it on many occasions. So we are not surprised that EFCC and the kidnappers in Nigeria use the same system, method. We've seen cases where the kidnappers working with the police. So we could allegedly say that some kidnappers are ex-policemen or even policemen that is still serving, allegedly. Because we've seen cases where kidnappers call out police that they have worked with. We are talking about Maxi Nnamdi Kanu. I think it's going to about 2 years now. Even when a court asks the federal government to release him, the federal government refuses. You see, and tomorrow you will say we are practicing democracy. And another thing I want to ask, people will say, we have to practice democracy. It's a must, we must practice democracy. Who put it upon the world that democracy is the best system of government in the world. Oh, fine, America, they're trying it. The advanced country are trying it. But don't forget, some countries like China, North Korea, they are not practicing democracy. And they are doing fine. Doing fine. As me and you are talking today, China has surpassed the America in terms of military might. In terms of economy, China has passed America. All the Americans still believe is just fantasy. The average American still believe that they are the capital of the world. And that's a fallacy, that's a lie. So we also learned that Very Dark Man has said that he does not want to get involved in politics. One will not force him to do what he does not want to do. But I've seen his brother. His brother is just as eloquent as him. So maybe somebody like him like the brother could go into politics. Because believe me, the only way you can change this country, you have to go into the circle. You have to go to the nucleus. You have to go to the center. You have to be inside to begin change the country. You can change the country from outside, but you can't do much. That is why. Imagine if the EFCC or DSS, whatever the case may be, I still believe that it was the DSS that kidnapped him first, before the EFCC. Now say, when they look for Antuna, it don't tell where they call us thief. It don't tell where they say we are corrupt, and they just prove to the world that what Very Dark Man said about them is true. That was a corrupt way of abusing the power that they have. So, back to what we were saying. It is now a known fact that VDM does not want to get involved in politics. But you need people inside that will have his idea in order to correct that country. Look at what Ibrahim Traore is doing in Burkina Faso. If he's not a military man, if he's not in power, there are certain things he could not have done. And probably he would have been killed. And that is why we are doing this video to Very Dark Man to begin to form a circle, a group. You might not like politics, but you are a force to reckon with. Form your group, form a circle, and at the end of the day, you will have to tally, you have to blend to a party that you like. Maybe if you are able to win a state like Abuja, that will be a stepping stone to removing power from these hungry grandfathers that we have. If we think that these fathers will relinquish power without we dragging it with them, that's a lie. And that's why the youth are beginning to shout revolution. Revolution is the last step of taking power from these politicians that we have. I once told a guy that, take Nigeria, for example. The worst military, which is Abacha, is better than the best civilian that we've had. Which of course we'll say is the Baba himself, our daddy. But if you still look, he also uses his own power on some governors that didn't want to succumb to him. So they both have the abuse of power. Anyway, I just want to end this video here by saying VDM is back. Thanks to the organic follower that he has. Thank you, the Rate, for following the president of Nigerian youth. I believe he has an edge above Shore. So if you say he's the president of the Nigerian youth, I'll agree. So I'm calling on all the youths. It's time we begin to talk truth to power. If we have 10, like Very Dark Man, the government will shake in carrying out any project or giving out any information to the citizen. I rest my case here. This is TV. We are global and social commentator. All we do here is preach good governance. All we do here is preach the greatness of Africa. We believe that Nigeria will be a stepping stone to making Africa great. And that is why we come here to begin to preach, to begin to say, let's keep the fire burning. Let's keep the hope. Because the worst to happen to us is being hopelessness. Let's try as much as possible to be able to resist this government and see how the youth can come in. With that, I say thank you very much. If it's the first time you're coming across this channel, this is Ini TV. We are global social commentators. And for our returning subscribers, we say thank you, thank you, thank you. We love you, but God love you most. As it is the culture in this channel. We'll catch you when we make the next video. Until then, we'll say chooks, ciao, adios, au revoir, hasta la vista. Bye bye.